All right, everybody, welcome back to episode 24 of the Planet Film Show, Planet Film Podcast, whatever you choose to call it here on the Planet Film Network. Now, as you guys know, you guys have a brain, you guys are smart. We've been off for a little bit. It's just right now with all the COVID stuff and working and trying to get everything done when we're not working, it's rough on the old schedule.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised you guys haven't been closed yet. I thought it was gonna come like last week.
Oh, absolutely. I've been thinking it's been coming every day. Now,
sorry, don't mind my eating. If I'm trying not to eat into the mic, so I do apologize if you guys hear the crunching of broccoli in your ears.
It's okay. It'll be fine. They can survive. Look, now he just looks. Now he's like, So we have a kind of truncated show for you guys today, just because we're trying to fit everything in. We're trying to get a show for you guys. Really, last week was a scheduling issue, but really, honestly, there was not much news. There wasn't much big news that wasn't just the regular Marvel, this, DC, that, all that kind of stuff. So basically then this week, we are going to be just basically talking about two big stories that have kind of been developing for a while. One has been developing for months, and the other one pretty much unfolded all this week, which we will talk about both in depth in this. But we're going to be basically just doing two main topics today. But before we do that, TJ, do you have anything else you want to tell the people? Anything that's new with you or anything?
Let's see. I'm starting this diet.
Oh.
It's day 2. And so it consists of 5. I'm going to go through the entire thing. And now Danielle did this however many months ago. Last year, actually, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
When gyms were still a thing. So it was an hour workout every day. And then in the morning, it's 5 egg whites with spinach with fruit.
Really?
And then at 10:30 it's another fruit or a smoothie. But right now I don't have a blender, so I have to do fruit. And then at 1 o'clock, lunch is broccoli and chicken. Is it with the fruit? No, just broccoli and chicken. And then at 3:30, it's a fruit or a protein shake, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, I'm sorry, it's a fruit and a vegetable. And then at 5:30, it's supposed to be the workout. 7:30,
wait,
it's
1 second. I'm being told that we are not live. Uh-oh. Hold up.
It's awkward.
All right, come on here. What's going on, folks?
Even though I changed the password to the YouTube or the Google, does that affect the YouTube?
No, I've been logged in. I've been logged into it. I what's it called? Yeah, I set the live show and everything. Let's see what's going on. Videos, playlist, videos live. Oh, I see. We have 2 different feeds. Hang on. Let me get rid of that. And then this one says we're live. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we are live.
That was a good minute or two of silence.
Yeah, well, that's what we have our our editor for. Hey.
And one's live, and the other one I was on didn't start, so I had to go to the other one for it to start.
Oh.
Yeah, we just
Did you fix it?
Yeah, I deleted the other one.
That's weird.
Yeah, that was a little weird. All right, so let's go ahead. Or do you? I'm sorry. Do you want to finish the diet talk because we were live?
Basically,
that
I'm
whole
just
time.
on a diet. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay. All right. Well, sorry about that, guys. I saw that we were live on Twitch right away, but YouTube was doing some funny business to give us two different streams for some reason. Well, let's go ahead and get right into this. Let's just jump right in head first here. So this is possibly not going to come up. Yep, it didn't. Let me just see. Sorry, guys. There we go. Yep, as you can see right there, we have the Hollywood Reporter article. Big headline right there. Warner Brothers smashes box office windows, will send entire 2021 slate to HBO Max and to theaters. Holy crap. That is the entire slate of Warner Brothers Pictures films going to streaming and theatrical day and date. Now, if we had done this show, maybe 4 or 5 days ago, we would have been like, wow, this is crazy. But it has been the fallout of this, the continued, how should I say, the continued, what do I want to say, barrage of talent, agencies, agents, producers, directors, everybody coming out, movie theater executives coming out and railing against this decision, saying, how could they do this? This is so unfair. Nobody was consulted. We have a possible lawsuit from a longtime Warner Brothers partner, Legendary Studios, which helped produce Kong versus Godzilla, or Godzilla versus Kong, and Dune. They might be actually looking for legal challenges to this to make sure that their end is recouped. What are your thoughts on this? What are your first thoughts? Obviously we've had a couple days with this news, but you want to touch on maybe some of the people that have come out and spoken about it.
Well, my first reaction when I heard that these movies are all going to HBO Max, I was pretty ecstatic. I was pretty excited. Except for Dune, I wanted to see that in the theater, which I probably still like when it's like allowed, because Dune doesn't come out till like October, December, I think it was.
Yeah.
Of 2021. So maybe, you never know, like if they're open that time and it's like, everybody's vaccinated up and shit, then maybe I'd go and see that. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm not surprised. I think the most crazy thing is that they didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
That they're just like, yeah, screw it. But yeah, I think that's pretty crazy. Yeah, just I don't know what you think. Obviously we saw what Chris Nolan said about it.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you think about him?
I think they're kind of both sides of evil with Chris Nolan and Warner Brothers there. I just think hang on. Ooh. Okay. I think they're just kind of both two halves of evil there with Chris Nolan and Warner Brothers. Mm-hmm. I think they both have done their part to kind of screw over cinema. I think it's one of those things where within Christopher Nolan's camp, you kind of love something so much you suffocate it. I think that's kind of what he does with cinema lately. Is that I think he doesn't know when to stop, and some of the strict release, rules that he has about his films, some of the, just some of the stuff that he does, kind of strong arming studios, stuff like that. He doesn't really have room in this, I think, to be as pouty about it. Aside from monetary compensation. I mean, does any of these people really need more money? Of course not. But that's the way the world works.
Yeah.
And there is certain things that are very unfair about this. The main thing. I had said that agents and talent, actors and actresses, and their representatives have been very upset because you'll know on the last episode of Planet Film we talked about that Wonder Woman 84 was heading to HBO Max day and date with theaters. Mm-hmm. And with just that one movie, it was earth-shattering news. But it's now being reported that Gal Gadot was paid a bonus of about $10 million to go along with and to kind of hype up and be behind the push for HBO Max. And then, but now with this, them doing it with the entire slate of their films, you know, have actors like Margot Robbie, Keanu Reeves, all coming out, you know, Timothy Chalamet even, you know, coming out and saying, you know, hey, where is this compensation for us? Gal Gadot got paid $10 million for this. Why are we not giving compensation, let alone why are we not being told the way that our films are being released? Like, this is crazy. Because this is not an indie movie that was originally going to have a theatrical release that got picked up by Netflix. You know what I mean? This is tentpole back end deals, you know, points for their credits and stuff like that. These are big, huge movies that can make or break these careers. And they're just not really doing anything for the people in them, or the ones that made them, because there's also anger coming from people like James Gunn too.
Yeah, I get the fact that they were like, they're like, oh yeah, we like thought about it, and like we decided to go with this, but it's like, okay, you thought about it, but you didn't tell anybody. It's like, I just don't. That just makes no sense to me. Like, I don't get, like, and we've seen it like done before, like in this kind of industry. It's just like, I just don't understand like the rationale behind like thinking of something that affects like millions of people, not millions of people, but like, you know, people that have worked really hard on things and like they want to see their thing succeed on like a grand scale.
Yeah.
And you just kind of like make the decision that you're going to do this without telling them, or you tell these like literally two people, like the director and the star of the movie, and then every other movie that you're releasing, you're like, don't mention it to them.
Yeah.
It like make that like, it's like you're just trying to like burn bridges and like, and I don't know if you saw the Chris Nolan quote where he's like the best actors and directors went to sleep one night thinking they worked for the best company, and they woke up realizing they worked for the worst streaming service.
Yeah. I thought that was great. That was great.
That was funny. I mean, granted, he's almost part of the problem because he was one of the people who pushed the movie to get released, and he's one. I thought I saw a quote. I saw on one Twitter, and I didn't see it anywhere else, where they like specifically said that, responding to him, that his movie was one of the reasons that they did this.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true, but
I don't know if that, I don't know about that specific tweet or anything, but I mean, you just think about the facts. If Chris Nolan hadn't pushed so hard to get this film released, this film would have just been pushed back and came out in 2021. And it probably would have made, you know, a crap ton of money. It unfortunately did not. I mean, I saw somewhere that in the territories where COVID was not under control, because it's not really under control anywhere besides places like Australia and stuff like that, where Tenet did make a good amount of money, that in the places where COVID is just even slightly managed, it made about 75% of its projected earnings without COVID. So the U.S. was a big part of that. It shows that even with COVID just slightly managed, if you had just pushed it, you know, another 6 months, and not had the crazy push to get it out as soon as possible, you could have made 75% of what you thought you were going to make in America. You know what I mean? You could have, maybe you wouldn't make, you know, 600 million, but maybe you could pull in like 450 million.
Yeah.
Maybe you have that chance if you don't push it so hard. And the fact is that with him pushing so hard, Warner Brothers took a big loss with Tenet. They took a big, huge loss with that movie. And they, like you said, that is part of the reason that they are trying to keep that from happening again.
I mean, they're going to take they're going to take losses while releasing these movies on HBO Max. I mean, granted, they're still going to go into theaters the same day, but would I rather go risk my health to go to see it in the theater or stay at home and watch it for how much money? What is HBO? I don't even know how much it costs.
It's like $10 No, it's like $16.99 a month, I think, because regular HBO is like 15 or something.
Okay. Which they just ended their free trial too. They're like, nope, we can't have this anymore.
Yeah.
They just like, I thought that was a good idea.
Yeah. because otherwise you just have people going, well, I don't have to actually pay anything to see Wonder Woman.
I'll
I
just
could just
cancel it.
Yeah, start my free
Or
trial
take the
and
free
cancel
trial,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, and then cancel it.
But that was like another thing where it's like where these movies are most likely gonna be coming like every month, maybe. Like you'll get like one a month or something like that.
Yeah.
It kind of keeps people's like subscriptions because then they won't like, because like if you're just there for like, if they're like far between where they're like, you know, there's one and then the next there's not another one until next for another 6 months.
Yeah.
You can cancel in between that time, but if there's like one after another, then the person's probably going to be like, well, there's no use, you know what I mean? Like there's no use in unsubscribing if I'm going to want to see the one that's next month, so I'll just keep subscribing. I don't think this is going to get them like, I don't like these, like they'll get subscriptions and everything, but like I don't think they'll get like to like the Netflix number. Well,
Yeah.
whatever. What is Netflix? Netflix is like 100 million or something like that. Isn't
Something
it
like that, yeah.
there's
I
a
know, I think
higher
it's
than
even
that?
higher than that, yeah.
But I know they probably want to catch up to Disney because Disney's like
Mm-hmm.
kind of up there, I guess.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I don't know. This shit's whack though, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean it's something that, you know, we will obviously be watching very, very closely as it unfolds because it's gonna keep coming. I mean, there's gonna be, you know, things um coming out about this story, adding to this story for weeks and weeks to come, if not months or years to come, really, because this is probably where the industry is heading as a whole. Warner Brothers can call it a 1-year experiment all they want, but that's absolutely not what it's going to end up with.
It turns into a 2 or 3 year experiment.
Yeah, exactly. Or and then a 20 or 30-year experiment. All right, so let's go ahead and we can move on to the next topic here. So that was the big one. Let us know. Like we said, we're trying to do a little bit of a truncated episode here. So let us know what you guys thought. Reach out to us. You can always comment on our Instagram post. We'll have an Instagram post up for this, or just our most recent Instagram post. You can comment on it. Let us know what you thought. That's Instagram is Planet_Film Pod on Instagram, and then our Twitter, which you can just tweet right at us, is at Planet Film Pod. So let us know what you thought. Let us know what your take is on this. Do you think this is going to be a temporary thing, or do you think this is a sign of what's to come? I think for me, it's definitely a sign of what's to come. I probably speak for TJ and say the same thing. Yeah, and I do want to, before we move on, I want to read some of the chat here. We have, Shannon says, not really surprising. Television has been predominantly taken over by streaming. The film industry was on its way there already. COVID simply expedited it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. Tenet would have made more money in 2021 on the big screen. Just because HBO Max puts good content on doesn't make it a Netflix level streaming service. And then we have Netflix has more variety in general, in my opinion. Yeah, so you see a bunch of different stuff out there. A lot of people, have favorite streaming services. People have streaming services that they don't even touch. You know what I mean? Like, so it all just comes down to it. It's just a matter of, where things are going and how things are going to wind up. I think it's just going to wind up with this is the future, unfortunately. I think small art house cinemas will remain. There's definitely a couple in our area here. There's one, I'll give a shout out on Hurdle, North Park. I think North Park in 50 years North Park will still be around. Barring
I've only been there once.
Barring any it's great. Barring any financial thing of the people who privately own it. I just mean industry wise, with industry trends, I think places like the North Park will outlast big box movie theaters. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our next story, which is a story that has been, as we talked about a little bit ago, has kind of been unfolding for months because the speculation train started very, very early on this film. And that is, of course, The Beast. The Beast of 2021, question mark? Are we sticking with that? I guess we are. That's what Marvel says. We are sticking with what is it? Christmas Day 2021? I think so. It's Christmas 2021, but I can't remember if it's like Christmas or if it's like Christmas. You know what I mean? Like just some vague time in December, or if it's an actual Christmas movie. But we are of course talking about Spider-Man 3, whatever it is about to be called. Which, you know, I saw somebody tweet today that it's Spider-Man 3 or Spider-Man : Everybody Come Home. Which you know what I mean? Which I think is funny because it's got to have home in the title there. But what we were talking about is for weeks and weeks and weeks, we have heard this movie is going to be big. This movie is going to be basically a live action Spider-Verse, which I think after today we can confidently say it's going to be. So we had gotten speculation that there was going to be both Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield appearing in Spider-Man 3. Now, this is Tom Holland's Spider-Man 3, Marvel Studios and Sony Pictures collaboration inside the MCU, all that stuff. There had been major speculation and also some, you know, reporting that Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire would be appearing alongside Tom Holland in Spider-Man 3. The more and more that this continues, the more and more it seems like that is the case. Now, today we have had confirmation of some pretty big stuff. Now, this is coming after we had already had confirmation of some other pretty big stuff, which is that, of course, the first big casting that we got, aside from, you know, the main Spider-Man folks coming back, was Benedict Cumberbatch will be starring in the film with Tom Holland as, of course, Doctor Strange, which kind of helps with the whole multiverse aspect of it. And then we had the big bombshell that potentially Jamie Foxx would be coming back as Electro. And then that's when the rumors really started flying. That's when we were starting to hear things like, you know, Doc Ock is going to be coming back. Willem Dafoe is going to be coming back as Green Goblin.
That'd be lit.
They were, you know, talking about all that stuff. You know, maybe we get Topher Grace back as Venom. But no, I don't know if we get that. I would not be surprised, though, if Tom Hardy doesn't show up in this.
I wouldn't be
Venom.
surprised. I want Willem Dafoe now. You got me hyped. I want him
absolutely.
back.
Absolutely. So let's get to it. The big stories today, which we will talk about. Like we said, it's going to be a shorter show. Let's go with the first one that dropped, and then we'll talk about the second one, because the first one is more concrete. This is coming from The Hollywood Reporter, one of the oldest institutions in Hollywood for reporting, and that is that the man himself, Alfred Molina, will be reprising his role 17 years later as Doc Ock, Dr. Otto Octavius, from Tobey Maguire's Sam Raimi-directed Spider-Man 2. I think it's not an overstatement to say one of the best and fan favorite Marvel villains of all time, if not just villains of all time on film, is going to be coming back. Now, of course, the question remains, well, how? Because, I mean, spoilers for a 17-year-old film, but you know, unfortunately he passes away at the end of that movie. He is taken back to the sea, as it were, you know, falls into his own contraption. So do you think, let's start with this Doc Ock news. Do you think this is going to be the same Doc Ock coming back from that universe prior to his death? Or do you think this is going to be some sort of another universe's Doc Ock?
I would probably have to say, is the one he played, not like a different universe, because how would you do that? You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to have him come in as a different universe one, I feel like, right?
For me, I would say I think he is actually going to be from a different universe. When
you say different universe, do you mean like his like Tobey Maguire universe? Is that what you mean by that?
No, I mean, like, I think he is. I think he's going to be a totally different version of that character.
Okay.
The same way that Jamie Foxx hinted that Electro would not be blue. I think
Yeah.
this is going to be. I think this is going to be. Think of Spider-Verse, right? Into the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
Think of Peter B. Parker, old schlubby Peter, meeting the female Doc Ock, right?
Yeah.
That it'll be like that. Like Tobey Maguire will be like Dr. Octavius, like, and he'll be and he'll be like, "Who the hell are you?" Like that kind of thing, where it's like he's still playing Doc Ock, but he's a version that didn't go down that same path. Maybe he's even playing a version that never got redeemed. I think that would be really cool. Another spoiler for Spider-Man 2, which is that that movie ends with him getting redeemed and then sacrificing himself, making him one of the best characters ever.
I've probably seen that one the least. The second one.
Oh, really?
Out of the 3.
So good.
Yeah, I always liked the third one because I like Venom, but I know the third one's like the worst, hands down the worst one.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's redeeming qualities to 3, but yeah.
Yeah,
I think what is your big take?
I think that'd be dope. I literally just had an idea in my head and it just completely left my brain. I forgot what it was. But no, yeah, I could see that too. Mm-hmm. It's interesting to see like how like all these people are going to be in the same movie. Like I feel like it's going to be like, are we going to get like, can we get bad boy Peter Parker back from Spider-Man 3?
Well, that's the question.
Well, that'd be so funny. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and pull up the second article here.
Okay.
Which is update. This is not coming from THR. This is just coming from other trusted sources. Like this is something that is being run by IGN. Some of that stuff, but none of the major Hollywood trades have picked this up. So I would say take this with a grain of iodized table salt. This is not a big grain of salt.
Iodized table salt.
That's right.
Okay.
This is not a big grain of salt that you have to take this with, but take it with a little one because the big trades aren't running this yet. But at this point, I would have to say it's true, which is that we're getting updates that Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Kristen Dunst will all reportedly also be appearing in.
Now,
also, what is not in this tweet, also Emma Stone is reportedly reprising her role as Gwen Stacy.
Now, I just have to say real quick. Apparently, I don't recall. My memory is awful. Everybody knows that. Mm-hmm. Danielle said that she mentioned this when she was on about, when was that, like last month, 2 months ago?
Yeah.
And we said that we were like, oh, they're just rumors. And I was like, I got to give you credit. I'm here giving her credit. But she called it before us.
There you go.
Just had to say that. But that's crazy. I'm surprised. Well, maybe it's because it's not under the same people. But wasn't Andrew Garfield? Didn't he like feel so wronged? Like he did not have a good time, if I remember correctly. My
guess is that he got. I think Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are I think Alfred Molina was probably ready to go. He was like, oh baby. What's it called? I think the hardest sells to get back in was Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire.
And Tobey, because I feel like he doesn't even act that much anymore.
Yeah, the last thing he did was like
he's more
Boss
of a producer.
Baby. Yeah, the last thing he did was Boss Baby.
Oh jeez.
What's it called? No, but I think probably they both got a little bit of the little Feige treatment of listen, Andrew, those guys are gone. All right, I'm here. Listen, we both love Spider-Man. Just imagine it. You know what I mean? Probably showed him, walked him through Marvel Studios, showed him the concept art. You know they gave him the whole 9 yards. You know what I mean? They got him back in. They buttered him up.
When's the last time he did like a blockbuster?
Andrew Garfield?
Yeah.
I don't even know. Long time ago, I think.
Silver Lake. That's not a blockbuster. Silence wasn't a blockbuster.
No, that might be the
Hacksaw
last.
Ridge?
I guess maybe that was his last big movie.
Yeah. Because Silence, I feel like, was like a good movie, but it didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like an earth shatterer. I feel like that's one of like the low key, like Martin Scorsese movies. Mm-hmm. But probably Hacksaw Ridge is probably like the last biggest one. I think the last biggest movie he was in was Spider-Man 2, which was in 2014.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
no,
it's been a
honestly.
while since he's kind of been in that like big public eye.
Yeah.
Um,
And
and
now
I think I've only seen I've I've seen both of them, but I think I've only seen the second one more, and I vaguely remember the second one. First one I don't remember at all. I know they're not looked upon very fondly. Oh, actually, it looks like the first one people seem to like. 66 Metacritic score. That's pretty good.
yeah. Yeah, so with oh sorry. Um yeah, but I mean that's the huge story here is with Spider-Man 3. I mean, we're all waiting to see what is going to actually happen with it, how it's actually going to unfold. And I think the last thing we'll talk about, the last big topic about Spider-Man 3 we'll talk about before we wrap up, because it will be a shorter episode. I see you in the chat saying
real
that it
quick,
won't
sorry.
be-
You know what
yeah.
we really need is we need Paul Giamatti back.
Oh, as the
As
Rhino!
Ryan.
Ah!
Why
Yeah.
did he have a Russian accent?
I don't know. I have no idea.
That was so funny. Oh boy, because that was supposed to be the third one, I assume, and then they just never did the third one.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Please don't bring us Dane DeHaan back. Please don't. I don't want Harry Osborn Goblin. I don't.
Oh boy.
No, but the last thing I think we should talk about here before we wrap up is people are now talking a lot about screen time. They're saying, well, how is this going to work? Is this movie going to be overcrowded? Are we going to get too much going on? Is this going to be kind of like an original Spider-Man 3 issue, The Curse of Spider-Man 3, where there's just too much going on? I would say if that is what you are thinking, I would say look at a movie like Avengers Infinity War. Look at a movie like Captain America Civil War.
Yeah.
There's 30 main characters in Captain America Civil War. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How long? How even long? It was that like 2 hour 15, 2:30?
Yeah, something like that. It was like 2:20, 2:16 maybe. I mean, or maybe it was like 2:30. But yeah, I mean, that is a perfect example of anybody that wants to come at me or anyone and say, "Oh, it's going to be overcrowded. It's going to be a fight for screen time." That whole thing. Captain America Civil War had 30 characters in it, and you never once in that movie lost that Steve Rogers was the main character. You maybe thought, I think that's actually the absolute perfect analogy, because you look at that movie, who are the three main characters of Civil War? It's Steve Rogers, Tony Stark, and Bucky Barnes. Those are the three main characters. You can have the exact same, blueprint for how you run the story and not lose sight of all the characters, with those three main people being Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield. Also, look at Spider-Verse. There was 6 Spider-Men in that movie. Well, 7 really, if you include the Chris Pine one in the beginning of the movie. And they all get their proper moment. They all get their screen time. Some of them are funnier, some of them are more emotional. But they all get their proper time. They all get their deserved credit in the movie. I think anybody who is saying, well, how is it all going to work with screen time has either not been paying attention or is very wrongfully doubting the ability of some of these people. Because I think it's going to be no problem whatsoever. What do you think about the whole screen time argument?
Yeah, I think, like you said, that's a great comparison, because Civil War is practically like an Avengers movie, like a mini Avengers movie. And same thing with or either Infinity War, Endgame. Well, you have to have all those characters on screen at some point or another. I think you could easily divvy up the amount of time.
Yeah.
How much screen time is Emma Stone gonna have?
Exactly. Yeah.
There's some characters that just fall second or third to the other ones.
Look at Spider-Verse and look at MJ in that movie. We got 2 different MJs in that movie, and she had maybe a minute total of screen time. She has the big speech at the, I'm not going to spoil what it is, why she's giving a speech, but she has the big speech at the, the gathering in New York in the beginning of the movie. And then she has that great scene with Peter B. Parker at the dinner later on. And that's really it. I mean, that's all we get from MJ in that movie. As well as, a few shots of her and stuff. But speaking wise, she's in the movie for less than a minute, and she's one of the most impactful characters on the whole film. Which I think is exactly what you can do with people like Emma Stone and Kirsten Dunst. I mean, do I think that they're going to be, teaming up girl power with Zendaya? No, I don't even think that Emma Stone or Kirsten Dunst or anything like that would even leave their universe, unless with the caveat that unless they're doing some trickery with Emma Stone and she's not playing that Gwen Stacy and maybe she's playing Spider-Gwen. I mean, that could change things, but that's a totally different situation. But yeah, I think it's going to be completely fine. Myself, at least. All right,
Yeah,
let's like I said, I told you guys it's going to be a shorter show. You guys didn't believe me. Let's end with one last question. TJ, right now, you have to tell me. I'm putting you on the spot. What is the title of this film?
I think I said homesick a while ago, but that's not what it is.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what if he gets stranded in the multiverse?
It's home something.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Home.
You want to know mine?
What's that? What is
I think it's Spider-Man: Home on the Range.
It's definitely not that.
No.
Home Again? Maybe? I don't know.
Maybe. What about like Spider-Man Far Away from Home, or like Far From Home, or something like that?
Far From Home? I think we did that already.
Oh, okay.
Home World?
Spider-Man Home World. Spider-Man Homies?
That could be one. Home.
Right?
Yeah, that could be it.
Spider-Man Homies. Spider-Man Homelander. Maybe we get
Homelander?
another universe in here, right? Yeah. Okay, what
Who's
would you...
this guy fucking like just takes his head off? Like oh my god, that'd be hilarious.
Said, you remind me of my son Ryan.
Oh, the boys needs to come back.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, like we said, it's gonna be a real short show just because we wanted to get a show together for you guys to put on. We're just trying to.
By the way, I looked it up. Sad news: we can't review Tenet next week because it comes out Monday night. So like midnight on Monday.
I
so
see.
leading
I
into
see.
Tuesday.
I see.
Damn shame.
Damn shame. Damn shame, everybody. We will be bringing a Tenet review to you guys, though, once we've had a chance to see it at home. Because I still have not seen it. I've had it pretty much all spoiled for me, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
But, yeah.
I don't know anything.
But I... what's it called? But we will be watching it, and we will be reviewing it once we get, time to watch it and be able to both meet up and have the show and everything. If it has to be pre-recorded, we'll see there. But yeah, thank you so much for bearing with us. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely comment and like. Comment and like. Let's try to get everybody that's watched this to like this video. Let's try to get everybody who's new and watching this to subscribe on the YouTube channel, which is the YouTube channel Planet Film Network. If you just type in Planet Film Network, you'll get us and a whole bunch of trailers for Planet of the Apes. So that's fun. You can watch those while you're there. As always, for myself, I am at Paste Eating Yak on Twitter. And my name is Sean Monk.
And my name is TJ Cornwell, and I'm at TJ_Cornwell on Twitter.
All right, well, we did not lie to you guys. This might be the first time we've actually stuck with it, but a much shorter show for you guys. We just wanted to get something on the books for you guys to make sure we didn't miss a week or anything like that. But until then, as we say every single episode here, be excellent to one another and party on, dudes. We'll catch you in the next one.